We are live. Good morning, or afternoon, and good evening as well. For the Euros. Gonna start today with the Pico CTF again. Dabbled here yesterday, and we're back trying to clear out all of the medium web exploitation category. So let's see what it is with the notepad. First up. Where is looking for a certain song? No. Well, where is... There we go. This is what we want to start with today. And then we'll go back to Fred again after.
This year we've had to lose.
Alright. Notepad, Pico CTF. This note-taking site seems a bit off. Why is that? Is burp off? Let's keep going. Hello. Alright, so oh, interesting. We also have the notepad files right here. So static is blank. Static, I'm assuming, is where, well, not assuming, I know. That's the directory where the notes are stored. Templates. Let's check out index.html. If error is not none, include errors for sure. errors backslash
This year
plus
we've
dot
had to
html.
lose our space we've lost.
Alright, where's errors? Your note length, request args get length was larger than 512.
The hugs with friends
And it also
and people that we loved.
has a filter for bad characters.
We've lost dancing.
Let's see.
If I can live through, we've lost
There's a Docker file for it. Date modified 1969.
day by day. We've lost dancing. If I can live
Alright, so here's our app
what comes
from worksig.urls.
will be
Import token URL safe from Flask. Import Flask request. What up, Dea? Good afternoon. Render template redirect URL for. Creates an app. App route home directory. So the home directory index return render template. Which is this. Backslash new. Okay, so let's capture that request. Let's edit and resend, and let's use post. So post.
what comes next will be marvelous.
Interesting. Keep looking at this. New route, backslash new, post, request form, get content, if underscore in content or backslash in content, return URL for index. Okay, so that's its error catch. If content length is greater than 512, return redirect. Errors long content. Name format static backslash URL underscore fix. Content 128 dash token URL safe. F-write content. We also have the Docker file it's deployed on. And you can see working directory backslash app. Copy app.py and flag.txt, which is not in here. Copy templates. run make directory app static, which we can see right here. Static and then hello. Is that the same every time? It is not. Change modification. Recursive 775. And it's running all these together. So it makes the directory, gives it 775 permissions, change mods 1773, static templates errors. And then it moves flag.txt to flag dash, and then here's a variable. Access kernel. What if we ran this ourselves? What does this look like? Wow. That's too long to guess. We cannot crack that one. And then it runs a command, Unicorn. And this is the Docker file. Make sure we interpreted this right. Let's run this through ChatGPT. Work directory app sets the working directory inside the Docker container to /app. All subsequent commands will be run in this directory. So app is our root directory. Copy app py flag.txt from the host machine to the app directory. Copy templates, copies the templates directory from the host machine to the app directory. I'm curious about what this is. Run make directory app static, chmod recursive 775 permissions. Change permissions recursively for everything in the current directory to 775. Read and execute to others. Sets the template errors in static directory, so 1773. This makes the directories writable and sticky, which means that only the owner of a file can delete or rename files. Renames flag.txt to a new name that includes random UID, enhancing security by making it harder to guess the file name. Runs Unicorn 16 processes, 5-second timeout. Runs the process as nobody. Runs the process as no group. Specifies the application to run. App is the module name. Permissions, we know that. Okay. So this, the app route to new. Content equals request form. What does this do? Because static is our note directory. F before the string denotes an F string, which is a formatted string literal. It allows embedding expressions inside curly braces, which will be evaluated at runtime. This part of the string sets the base directory to static. Content 128 extracts the first 128 characters from the variable content. URL fixed is a function that presumably sanitizes or processes a substring to make it safe to use for a URL or file name. Token URL safe generates a random URL safe string with 8 bytes of randomness, providing an additional layer of uniqueness to the file name. That's an HTML. The resulting file name will be a string starting with the static directory, which we can see here. Here's our random string. Contents equals example content that will be processed and truncated to 128 characters and more. Oh. URL underscore fix returns a sanitized version of the substring, e.g. That will be processed. This ensures that the file name is unique and safe for use within the URL content. Okay, so what happens if we do more than 128? Your link. Oh, okay. Maybe there's a way to get the file contents to append to our file name? What domain reverse engineering falls under? I mean, in which domain of cybersecurity? There's actually a great it's almost like a spider plot chart. Yeah, this is the one that I like. Where is it? Right here. Reverse engineering. Probably application security. Assuming that you're reverse engineering an application. I mean, it could also be risk assessment though, right? I mean, even governance could fall into that if you're doing reverse engineering for an audit. Probably app security though. we start just throwing stuff at this?
What up, Blunts? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it does grab that flag.txt into the home directory, so it's here. I don't know if there is... I need to somehow grab... I'll have to use like a glob, maybe? It doesn't really... This is the only filter on the content, is underscore and backslash. And then if it does catch that, it redirects to that. Token URL save. And then it says with open name. Content, the first 128 characters. What does it do with the last? What if I just did flag? No, it's not long enough. Because it's grabbing flag. Oh, I wonder if we can use this. This is where we inject this content.
Kodachi.
New OS.
It's from 2013.
What is this photo? Is it a Black Hat distro? Kodachi vs. Tails. It's a Tails competitor. Interesting. Linux in its simplest terms, an operating system. Oh man, automatically established VPN connection, pre-configured Tor. Hmm. Transient nature. The entire OS operates from your computer's temporary RAM. As a result, once you power down the system, it leaves no trace, erasing all your activities. Wow. It's a live OS, so it's not persistent. Huh. That's pretty cool.
What up, Pondake?
We were looking into Kodachi OS,
Suggested by Blunts.
which is a direct Tails competitor. But we are also doing a CTF. And we are trying to crack this flag on a notes app. What if I did that? I like this as an idea.
So what we'll do is if we see URL fix content,
It takes the first 128. So what if we just called it a variable? Like that. And we just did cat flag. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, what directory was that made in? If we just do ls-la, right? The requested URL is not found on the server. Oh.
so it's similar to like RCE but through a Flask app.
What if we just do cat glob? The requested URL is not found on the server.
It's searching for it though.
Parse the content. File name static backslash. URL fix. What is URL fix? You just find all outdated URLs in a given file and fix them. To use at the command line, will not replace a file in place. Since we set verbose to true. Oh, what if we just threw that in?
And sometimes I think I might be broke. But you bring it back all my feelings.
Bad content. What was the...
I'm deep diving.
Oh, the underscore.
I'm deep
What up, Suka? I did. I have, yes. I got it set up for Twitch and YouTube. All of them. Request ARGS kit. It's trying to find. Better. We feel good today. Just need to keep sleeping. What if we just do like
But you're bringing back all my feelings. And I fucking love
cat? Flag.
Super chat. Man, that's beautiful. Let's go. You are so based and red pilled.
Suka Fire super chatted. Let's see him TTS there or nah?
Told you, it's running. We just do that. The requested URL is not found on the server. So what is going on when this happens? How is this processing my content input? Yeah. I'm too awake. The first 128 characters in the content string. This ensures that only the first 128 characters are used for the file name. You're all fixed as soon as sanitizer modify. What up, Maka? If you want, absolutely. I would figure out what domain in cybersecurity interests you and then look at the skills necessary for that. So like if you want to do software development, yeah, you should probably learn how to code. If you want to be like an analyst, you probably don't really need to know how to code besides writing like Splunk queries or through databases. But I don't think that knowing how to code is a requirement for going into cybersecurity. I think you could be plenty successful in cybersecurity and not know how to code. There are benefits, of course. How do I redeem Google Play gift code on iOS? Like learning how to code will make you faster. You can automate things. I mean, there's numerous benefits, but it's not a massive drawback, if any, trying to just get into cybersecurity. And it all depends on what you want to do. If you want to do governance and develop runbooks and playbooks and standards and handle audits, You don't need to know how to code at all. You could even do security engineering and not need to code. Security engineering, most of the time, you're already using enterprise solutions if you're at a company. You're not using anything really homebrewed, aside from maybe like DevSecOps or automations, but usually for engineering, you're using professional, I'll say, solutions. Or pre-developed, where you're not modifying source code. It's kind of turnkey. Static backslash. Let's see. URL fixed content. Static backslash. Oh, maybe we can do something tricky here. Like, let's see. Let's do static backslash. We have to. Oh, it's taking the first 128, isn't it? Static backslash ABCD plus, let's do a variable. Where is flag going? Flex catch backslash app backslash flag star. Okay. Bad content. Oh, because it doesn't like. Why doesn't it like that? The following URL is not found. Is this running a command on it? It is not. Kira, let's go. Oh, you're right. No, I thought I did
did add one for member.
Appreciate you, Suka.
You're the best. I thought I had one for member. Why didn't that work? Became member. Oh, why did I not get an alert for it? Where is...
Super chat. Man, that's beautiful. Let's go.
I
You are so
replayed it.
based and red pilled.
Suka Fire super chatted. Let's see him TTS there or nah?
It is there. You asked for it to be loud. How much is dollar amount? I'm not sure.
Is it not 1-to-1? Honestly, I'm not sure. Why can this fire off? Oh. What about that? I guess it doesn't make sense to get remote code execution because...
INR dipped. Who's INR? Static backslash. A, B, C, D. What if I did this? Now the pound shows up. The requested URL is not found. Because then it returns a redirect to that name. Okay, so what if we do this? ABCD plus echo who am I? Maybe I need to use curly brackets. Do they import OS? They don't. Oh, Indian rupees. I thought INR was a person. Pardon me, Suka. That one's on me. I owe you. What does it do with the rest of the content? Nothing? On Discord for stream updates. I thought it does do that on YouTube or on the Oh yeah, I guess I could add everyone. That's a good idea. I think this is where we inject. So F-right content. File right Python RC. I don't think it can be interpreted. No, it doesn't. I just stumble upon streams from my recommended. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'll get that one going then. It's a good idea. So, I don't think flag is stored in static. It's stored in app, which is one back. And then it moves flag to a new name. So we need to go one back. So it would be like we need to escape this. There's zero sanitization. So file name. We need to somehow get this to name equals \app /flag. What is it? It's a whole bunch of different stuff. Yeah, flag dash random. .txt.
how do we get from here to here? Which is why in content.
No fan control on laptop. What kind of laptop is it? I mean, I guess it's... If it's Windows or Dell, I guess that's not that surprising. I'm sure there's a bypass, though. Oh, Razer. Nice. I think I have a Razer. No, I don't. I have a Corsair mouse. I thought I had a Razer mouse. So static backslash URL underscore fix 128. You get 128 in there total. So we need to like CD back home. Which is, I believe, where's the index.html? Are we already in backslash app when we send this request? I don't believe so. This all needs to go into CD app. Right, I guess app is... Custom Linux OP. Are you gonna try the Kodachi net? Or not net, excuse me, blunts. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Run make directory app static. So we're not gonna be able to guess this. That's why I'm assuming it's gonna be like a unless we can list the directory. I wanted to see if we could append Oh, the issue is when it returns to the name, it can't find it. So if we do name static, Maybe I could just do this. 128 characters to fill that up. Or no, I guess it would just write the rest of the content out. It wouldn't do it. I need it right here. We need static backslash boom plus backslash app backslash $. Let's do cat flag. Plus that.
So much better with everything. Nice and clover in my chair. There's no compare. I adore you. Ooh, I adore you. I can't find
CD boom.
people try to find this thing you've always been. I adore you. Ooh, I adore you. When you say your answers, you walk through life just like a dancer. If I had my way, every day would be a parade.
Oh, I thought that would have worked.
When you pray your answers, you walk through life just like a dancer. If I had my way, every day would be a parade. Ooh, I adore you. Ooh, I adore you. And I pray you never lose your star.
Already running. Nice. I could ask ChatGPT. We're trying to capture the flag.txt, which got renamed to flag-insaneuuid.txt. So I'm trying to escape here and maybe append the contents of flag. Okay, so maybe it's not that. What if I say who am I? Python return. Maybe there's a way we can return from a likeness. Like if we can glob flag. Maybe script. Script to solve it? I also want to figure out if that's where it's stored. It's working in \app. This is our Docker file, so everything is at the root already. So we pretty much just need to cd outside of static and then append the flag name. Return redirect. Like it's hard coded right here, the content, and it doesn't parse it aside for shortening. I wish I could see what its output was. And what if I just do a single quote, right? And then a pound. It wasn't found. What if I just do single quote.html? Star.html? No, we have to close it out. But if we do, why does this not work? Even though it's able to generate the name, it's not found. Because it's pretty much turning this into I mean it and then pound it out. But it's still static. And then it's just that. And then if that's pounded out, what if we did name equals that? So we can close the string. Right here. And then in here, after it, can we just do it again? Name equals format. App. Like that, and then pound it. So that way it'll be and then it just creates it again. Name equals format. Star.txt. CD home. After comment, try to add the same code and some number. Like this code? Add content because the underscore. I can't add underscore to it. This I was just thinking if Python comment out to the left instead of right. Content's 128 characters, and then after that, it just writes the rest of it to the file. The single quote breaks it, or the double quote breaks it. Even though the name still shows up, because it's trying to return the redirect. What is the issue? Why is, if it's returning name, oh, because name is probably like that. So if that's the case, what up, Numplex? One more doubt? What do you mean doubt? If we just pound it. The pound shows up though. What field does blockchain security belong to? What certifications are available for blockchain security professionals? I'm assuming blockchain, the certifications would be around like Web3. I mean, if blockchain security, probably security architecture, if you're designing the decentralized system and setting it up and all the literal blocks. I don't know. That's a good question. What certification for it? I'd assume it revolves though around Web3. What blockchain? Let's see. Blockchain certifications. Blockchain Council. CBP. Oh, it's EC Council. Well, it depends. So there's so much overlap that it could fall into a whole number of categories depending on your specific work. Because blockchain security could hit pretty much every domain depending on what you're doing related to it, right? So these fields are so vast, you have to be specific. Otherwise, like, yeah, you're not wrong. It's it would fall under cryptography, but if you're building it, it would be engineering. If you're auditing it, then it would be like GRC and compliances. If you're testing it, you could be red teaming it, right? If you're actively defending it, you're blue team SOC analyst on it. So it's hard to say like one specific domain. But again, it just depends what you want to do with it. If blockchain interests you, then figure out about what in blockchain you want to do. Do you want to build it? Do you want to test it? Do you want to audit people on it? A lot of options. That is cool though. I didn't know that they had blockchain certs. Make a new note. So it depends this regardless. How would we get code execution? That's the Docker file though. The 1773. Only the owner of a file can delete or rename files. Okay, so it doesn't. Oh, I guess we could. I guess just import OS. Where is the library? Okay, so let's try this. Let's throw this into fast note. So we'll do these should all be strings.
internal server error. Okay. So let's look at what we just caused. Let's see. If I'm injecting this into Python, do I need to add this new line characters, or can I just put spaces between them and leave them, or maybe a front slash? However, if you're building a long string that spans multiple lines, there are a few options. Okay, so I could just use spaces. What are we asking for over here? So it's taking static plus import OS current working directory. Let's just do not found. Current working directory, get current working directory, print. That's why. So I'm trying to. Not found. Import OS current working directory equals OS. It just goes right through. It's raw. How about that? Closes out of static. What if we do this? Name equals blank.
What if we did... Fly star? Plus... No, I can't go back like that.
How do we want to escape?
Smoking chaos. Our shoulder blades kissed.
Formatted.
I found you.
Static backslash.
I found you.
Help works.
I found you. I found you beautiful.
Oh, it doesn't like quotes at all.
I found you. I found you.
That doesn't work either.
I found you. I found you beautiful. I found you exploding.
That's gotta be vulnerable then. Why would they let me play with quotes? Because where's the issue going wrong?
Why can it not find that?
Does this work?
No.
And then the comment doesn't show up.
Your head shakes out your heart. You're pulling yourself apart. The sweat bleeding down. I found you. Hey. I found you. Could the calm across your face? Could the state you got this place? I was outside of my mind, but found.
It's still adding that to it. How is it getting that? Static backslash help ends the comment or ends the variable and pounds it out. Oh, because maybe it's... Oh, it's looking for the quote. And it can't find the quote because this is interpreting it as ending it. So it does interpret. That works.
In this smoking chaos, our shoulder blades kissed.
We've lost dancing.
That's crazy.
This year we had to lose our space. We've lost.
Dancing. Dancing.
All these things that we took for granted.
Maybe I'm overthinking this.
Lost dancing.
And we'll never be able to find the file. It's taking that name. Maybe I have to go past 128. Because it writes the rest of the content.
This year we've had to lose our space, we've lost dancing. We've lost the hugs with friends and people that we loved, all these things that we took for granted. We've lost dancing. We've lost dancing. If I can live through, we've lost dancing. This next
And that's not gonna find. Oh, it does.
day by day. We've lost dancing. If I can live through this, we've lost dancing.
That.
What comes next?
That doesn't work. But you see it shows up because it's caught. This one will not. Yeah. Len equals length of content. So there's another variable. It's dynamic. Make it through. We just need to grab flag. Okay, what if we do this? Let's open fart.html. Left, right. Yo.
What comes next will be marvelous.
Pound that out. Does fart.html show up? No. What up, Penguin? Yes, more injection. Absolutely, brother. This is what I thought was the injection point.
Welcome Alex_Anderson09.
What up, Alex?
Are you coming in?
Yeah.
really sure what's going on with that.
When I get home, I want you. When I get home, I want you.
Oh no, LibreOffice is just what the zip file is in. I use Cherry Tree for notes. This is just when I downloaded the file from PicoCTF. It just opened it in LibreOffice. I'm not insane.
Let me get rid of all this for the active box.
Not a fan of Cherry. I have seen good things on Obsidian. Or just using VS Code and Markdown files, I guess, but Obsidian does look pretty cool. Yeah, I use Gitbook as well for cloud sharing notes. So for work and stuff, I can share. Let's actually clear fast note. Yeah. There we go. So where I'm at so far is this, I think, is the injection point. Because if I'm trying to grab flag dash whatever this is, .txt, the random UID bit, I was thinking maybe like import OS, but it interprets it literally, so it can't find the file after. Like I can close it and pound it out, and that works. But if I just close it, it'll be blank. It just name equals that. And the pound's gone as well. What up, Alex? Bro, what views? I'm preparing for SOC analyst and applying to numerous companies, but I'm highly interested in a government job working in government. Here we go. So here's the app, and then we also have the Docker file. Government's tricky, Alex, because they are really strict. I don't know your background or history, but any drug use in like the last 10 years is, at least when I was applying, because they're like over the last 10 years, if you've used marijuana or any other drug, because marijuana is still federally legal, I couldn't apply. Private sector is pretty cool though. It's just those guys are so straight edge. Like those are some peak Captain American human beings. Peace, Suka. I appreciate you testing out the super chat and the membership. We'll have the membership running tomorrow. What you're looking at are F strings. Yes. And the F strings allow for this stuff. For internal variables. And I guess code within code, embedded code. Peace, Suka. Have a good night, brother. Format static. Because the name, it's interpreting it literally. So my thought was maybe like import OS and then use the embedded code to append the flag file contents. Maybe. Here we did. It's gonna. It looks for the name. The goal here is to find flag.txt, which is in the root directory of the app, but it was moved and had a UID bit appended, which is too much to brute force. That's what they look like. You can't guess these. What did normal input do? Normal input returns this because it writes the content to the HTML page, and it's also a part of the naming convention, but it uses the token URL save here at the end. Gotcha. My background is like I'm just exploring fields, like I was into robotics, full stack, animation, etc. Asking for government jobs because I really love working with them and serving nation, to be honest. Not want to stuck with 9-to-5 job. I mean, private sector or public, it's still 9-to-5. Unless you're your own boss. Even then, you're working even longer hours. Yeah, I mean, it's so broad. Just cybersecurity, IT, technology in general. What up, Gecko? Good to see you, dude. You could really do anything. And parlay them together, too. If you like robotics and security. So you can think of a way that you can, that your input influences the file, right? Yes. So, that's where I had to come up with. Originally, it was this. Because this is what we have to eventually get to, right? Is name equals that. And I can't use backslash or underscore. Or forward slash, excuse me. Which is why I came up with this originally. Where... Oh, I guess... Would it be like that? But again, it interprets the name literally. It's grabbing. Yeah, CD. I could do CD ... to go back to the root directory, which is where the flag is stored. Can influence a Unix path without a dot or a backslash. I don't think so. It's not a glob, right? Is it open? Is it open interpretation? Is it like any search all these directories for user log? Oh, I see what it's doing. Etsy password. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so it's catting user, but then it goes back to home directory and goes to Etsy password. Peace, Alex. Have a good one, brother. Oh, if you want to join the Discord too, let me grab an invite. We just hit 500 people the other day. File path manipulation vulnerability. That's a good trick. Let me... add node. CLI tricks. Yes, because if they didn't block it, then you would be able to just go from static to app. It would be like, what's going on right now? What would it be? Static, ... boom.
app flag.
But that would be literal.
I don't know if the glob is good. It would have to be like.
Some way, because the flag we don't know. What was that? What was that called? File path manipulation. Don't worry about it as long as you get the gist of file manipulation. Yes.
Because it is hard coded. I don't want to die. No. Yeah. So we want to do. Oh, we can't even use those actually.
So now you can think about, how do I change a path anyways, even though those are blocked. Well, the dots aren't blocked.
It's only underscore and slash. So cd dot dot. But that's where I would need to like import OS. Static / dot dot. And I can't use.
What does the URL fix function do? It compresses the string.
So it takes the content, whatever the max length, I think it was like 512, and then just shortens it down to 128. It's what was the word for it? Truncating. The URL fix function is something else.
It kept saying it makes it a safe URL name.
I didn't really understand. Sometimes you get a URL by a user that isn't a real URL because it contains unsafe characters. This function can fix some of the problems in a similar way. Oh, it's encoding it. So it's not. So what if we do like that? What? Those play.
But it's only doing the URL fix on the first 128 characters. Does it do URL encoding? Decoding. Yes, there has been a payload where it did. Where I did see it do that. Yeah, here it is. Current working directory, so the space. It doesn't hit all of them though. And then these. It picked up the quote. It decoded it. Oh, is that bypassing it then? Oh. URL encoder. Honestly, I should probably fire up Burp. So can you bypass the blacklist knowing this? I guess that's what we will find out. So we're bypassing a single function. And we also have to bypass these. I'm using a function to bypass a check. What would I'm using a function. Oh, because URL fix is decoding it. Oh, I thought I was trying to bypass URL fix. But I'm using URL fix to bypass these two. So what if we did content equals can I use a glob here? Wait 1 second. I don't need that. Oh, the note contained invalid characters. It did not like that. Let's try, or what is just the URL encoded backslash. Whatever sub, take the time. You're right. I know. Or /. %2f. This is seeing if it's Oh no. Alright, so the URL encoded didn't work. Oh, lowercase? No, bad content again. No contained invalid characters. What about... It's double URL encoded. If you take the time to read the request for changing it, you know it's double URL encoded. Yeah. No, that sounds great, Penguin. Absolutely. My Discord is or I sent a link in there. It's just Jack and the D. Why'd you write code in Notepad? This was from Pico CTF. So I just extracted the tar file and it opened automatically in LibreOffice. What's your name? Oh, you're in it. Yeah, there is. Town Square, all the way at the bottom. You'll just have to, there's the verify link up here. It's just our bot protection. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick before this. What up?
What up?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Just a little bit tired because I spent too much time last night watching Twitch streams. It might have been slightly your fault, or my own. But yeah, I'm doing fine. You're like learning pen testing, I see.
Yeah. I did security engineering, mainly secrets management, for the last 2.5 years. And then last week I just started as a junior operator on a red team for a local security company.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I have been, so a little bit about me. I've been pen testing for the last, I think it's like 6 years now, something like that. Mainly doing web application pen testing, but we also have a red team I participate in sparingly, I would say. I have some background in exploit development as well. So, like, I see you struggling with this a lot, and like one of the things that I noticed that you have a lot of issue with is you're trying to go too fast.
Yeah.
So I was quickly gonna walk you through this and sort of like one of the things that you notice with a lot of experienced people is they do everything one step at a time. And newer people will try to do 10 things at the same time because they don't know the next step. So you right now, with a little bit of help, you managed to find out like, hey, if I can manipulate the path, I can maybe write to a different place than the static folder. So let's say you write to the application directory, you could maybe upload some Python code and execute it by requesting it, or whatnot, I don't know. But then you first need to bypass that URL check, right? And you saw the URL fix, you saw it URL decode some stuff when you did it in the browser, but in Burp you didn't see it. And so I directly noticed why, but I think you overlooked it out of like maybe eagerness to try it. So try to send this query again, like the %22, and see what happens in Burp. This is the repeater. No, your repeater doesn't have it. No, please don't do this because I want you to look at the actual data going sent over the wire. So right now you're in the repeater, but this is an environment you created. You adjusted the payload. Maybe try to see what the browser actually sends. Right,
okay.
so maybe close the repeater and open the Burp. And go to the proxy, the HTTP history, or here.
The two layers.
So what do you see? What do you notice from that?
The double encoding, because it says decode from URL goes back to %22, and then once it decodes again, it goes to single quote.
Yeah, so it's double URL encoded. So does that it then kind of makes sense why your like single URL encoded payload was stopped? Because it gets URL encoded by the web server itself before it even starts with any Python code. So if you look at the code, like if you look at the code in your notepad for a second, like before it enters any of this code, it gets URL decoded once. Every web server pretty much does this.
Okay.
So this is like a little bit of an experience thing. So one of the things that you correctly noticed by entering a URL encoded in the browser is that it URL decodes, right? But because you're now working in the man in the middle, which is a different environment, it decodes twice because your browser encodes once as well.
Oh,
so you're
I didn't
sort of
realize
missing
that.
you're missing this little step.
Oh.
And this is why it's
because
so
for Burp, we're already, by the time it gets to Burp, we've already passed the client side.
yeah,
So,
you're already
okay.
done with the client side. So it only gets to the server, and your browser will URL encode it once. Do you even know why we do use URL encoding?
Is it for sanitization?
No, if you make your request full screen, right? Like in your Burp, like just make it like so I can see it slightly better. Can you sort of imagine a problem where, let's say, can you add maybe a get parameter? Do you know how to add a get parameter in here? What it looks like?
Yeah, just
No, just yeah. Okay, this. Now, sort of imagine it isn't URL encoded. Like, just write code there. Write something there.
Just do the quote.
So just maybe write test in there. That might be a good thing.
So test is
And let's say that's the user input. Well, let's say the user enters like maybe test and then a new line, then an enter. And then how are you doing? So if you now press enter. And then my name is, you know. Oh, yeah, this is a different because you were in the intercept. Maybe go back in your proxy, in your HTTP history, you will see the response. So you're again pressing all kinds of buttons while I'm trying to take it real slow, you know. It should, like, you could sort on the, now if you go all the way to the left, you see the hashtag in your burp, you can sort on like the last request.
okay.
Next to host. So this is the first, this is the last, and it was an edited one, so the edited checkbox should be marked. So the row next to params, like slightly in the middle of the burp window. So you need to scroll a little bit down. Now you're sorting on edited. These are all the things you edited. Oh yeah, it's that one. Yeah.
Oh wait, I see what you're saying. Where was it? It was.
Yeah. You see
right
it?
here.
You scroll it. It's 127 something, I think. 1275. So this is the original one you see in here. And you can also, if you make this full screen, it's way better way easier to show. You see the original request. You see that big, like, you see it typed out quite bigly, right? If you press the like the little upside down arrow key next to original request, you can also look at the edited one. So now you see the edited one. And you can send this one to the repeater to play with. So that might be a good idea. So, and then maybe make the repeater full screen again so everybody can look nicely. So that's just the thing about like doing this in front of others. You always want to make like thing kind of big.
Yeah.
So you see on line 3, you see HTTP/2. And you know why that's the case? That's because burp automatically fixed your request after you put the enter after the test. Because URL encoding is in place so your input doesn't break the HTTP spec, right? So if you were to enter test space hello space IM space, you know, full-on sentences, which are things you might want to send, it will break the first line, because the first line in the HTTP spec is method name, in this case get, path name, in this case the /new and then the parameter name in the path, and then a space and then the HTTP version. So URL encoding is like we use it so you don't break the HTTP spec when sending data.
Oh, okay. So it just standardizes the format.
Yeah, it just makes sure that you don't like accidentally break this.
Yeah.
This part from like an application point of view. So it makes sense that your server will always try to at least URL decode once, right?
Okay.
But like the problem becomes when it does it twice, like in this case, because then you have like a little bit of ambiguity in the server, like what the input could be, and you can maybe bypass blacklists with it.
Okay.
So, and it also does this for post parameters. In post parameters, you can show it if you make it a post parameter. Again, like maybe do Control Z a bunch because now the request is quite mucked up. Yeah. So, yeah, and maybe remove the HTTP2 on line 3 as well. So line 3 of that request. Yeah. So in your post parameter, let's say you enter there everything, you know you can enter the and sign, like the shift 7 for me on a QWERTY keyboard. So test, and then shift 7. And then test, like type something after it, like test equals 1, 2, 3. So what happens now is now you're sending 2 different parameters instead of 1, right? Now you're sending content and test. And this is like why you also URL encode the post parameter. So you don't accidentally write new parameters or something like that.
Okay.
So like it's really important, especially in web security, if you want to like learn to abuse something, what is it used for normally first?
That's a good way.
Because
to
you're
think about
just
it.
abusing like functionality that is there, and it's not wrong to be there, but you're abusing the fact that it's like in the wrong places or happens too many times.
Yeah.
That kind of. So now knowing this, you can maybe write an URL to the, or a slash to the name. And I recommend always just starting simple. Just try to send like dash dot slash test, right? To the content parameter. So by keeping it really simple, so this should be blocked, right? If you
Bad content.
And now to bypass this blacklist, what was the ID that we had? So how would you need to change your input to bypass the blacklist?
URL encode it.
Yeah, the slash. You don't need to URL encode everything. You can only yeah.
Oh, I guess just key characters.
Yeah. It's %2f at the top of my head, and you also see it in the inspector. Do you see the inspector on your screen? So this will URL encode it once. Well, if you send this, it should still be blocked, right? Because the layer itself will decode it once. You can check it by sending it. Yeah, it's still blocked. Maybe send it like URL encoded another time. Right,
So
because we
it's-
said, oh, you need to URL encode it twice.
It's decoding on the clients, or oh,
No,
I guess
no.
on the
It's URL
server.
encoding before it enters your Python script. No, if you want to do double URL encoding, it's %25 and then the normal number, because the %25 is the URL encoding for the percentage sign.
Okay, so %25 and then %2f.
No, just 2f, because the percentage is in the 25, right?
Oh, okay.
So you don't need percentage 2f, you need %25 2f.
Yeah.
So you just think of it like if you were to URL decode it once, what would come out of it?
It worked.
Yeah.
Even though
It seems-
returned as %2f.
Yeah, so you at least added the reader. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, step at a time. Okay, alright.
Yeah. So now the question sort of becomes, because the name and the redirect are the same, you see the return redirect is what you see in your screen. Like, I don't quite know at the top of my head if the with open takes URL encoded character. So
With
because
open name.
like one of the things that I'm sort of assuming from what I see right now is it sends you back text. Yeah, so this makes sense because your server will URL decode it once, and then it becomes static/that-/test, and that one doesn't exist.
Yeah, I can't find it.
So what if you do %25 f test in this one? So you're doing a lot of things. you're being like moving quite quickly. Just change the percentage 2f to 252f. Okay, and now send.
Move permanently. Oh.
Okay. So like you're moving a lot. I don't quite see what's exactly happening. Oh, yeah. So now you get the content. So one of the things that you sort of notice here is that it didn't actually change the name part of the path, right?
Yeah.
Because all the URL decoding happened on your browser. So when you tried URL encoding in the input, yeah, you saw it appear URL decoded in your URL. But now you're checking actually what happens on the server side, and you see it's only once URL decoded, not twice. Right? Percentage dot dot percentage 252f becomes dot dot percentage 2f.
Even.
So it only happens once.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like the URL fix part is actually URL decoding.
Because it's still calling to this path.
Yeah, it's still calling to dot dot percentage 2f.
So if it was URL decoding, it should have been %2f.
No, it should have been dot dot slash.
Oh, it'll keep decoding multiple times. It would decode
No. The
twice.
server is the server is decoding it once, right? Before it even enters your Python script. So percentage 252f will become percentage 2f, which is what we see in the response. But if the URL fix function was vulnerable for URL decoding, it would become not percentage 2f, but the backslash.
Oh, okay.
Because if you think about how it enters that function, like the content will already be URL decoded once.
As soon as it hits the server, it URL decodes.
Yeah, almost every server will URL decode when it hits.
Okay.
And it's really important to walk through all these steps to really verify like these assumptions you make when exploiting things, right? Because like we had a hypothesis where we were like, okay, maybe it URL decodes and we can bypass like the blacklist this way. Well, let's see if it actually does that and at what place does it do that. Like pen testing is constantly trying to like get hypothesis and check how the server works. So we let like reality sort of lead us. So like we now tried double URL encoding, it doesn't work. Right? So now we need to look for something else. Like one really interesting thing, like I don't know the answer out of the top of my head just looking at this, but one really interesting thing to look at would be at like how the URL fix function works and what it does. Maybe there's like some other way you can use it.
Yeah. So just to understand, so the hypothesis was that we could send it double URL encoded, so it gets decoded once from the server, and then it will bypass the limits here, and then somewhere or URL fix this function would URL decode it again, hopefully allowing for path traversal, but this nothing down here decoded again.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the hypothesis was proven false, but now we can continue because we know the hypothesis is false,
Okay.
right? So we can exclude this attack vector. And that's really important to be able to do when pen testing because you need to know when you can't do something as well.
Yeah.
And that more often than not is the harder part of pen testing, is knowing when you can't do something. So one of the things that I would do normally, like right where you are now, is I would just look at the worksec URL fix function. So you can do that in multiple ways. I would normally start with just running Python 3 and just like importing it like they imported. You see in the top of the Python file, you see from
Yeah.
works.urls. It's the first line. Import URL underscore fix.
Can I import name? Do I need to pip install?
You might need to install Worksuit, but I already have it on my machine.
Oh, maybe I should use pip3. Why does pip take so long?
I don't know. I don't know. You're using Python 2.7 as well. I would recommend using Python 3. Wait.
Oh wait, yeah.
No,
you're
wait.
right.
I didn't read your terminal fully. Maybe I'm wrong. You're pip installing for Python 2, and you're working on Python 3. You see that? So you need to do pip3 install. Yeah.
Yeah. Requirements already satisfied.
Yeah. And now just run Python 3, so you can get into the command line version, like you can like the interactive mode. Yeah. And now you can just type import. Yeah. Enter.
Cannot import.
Can you just import worksuit.urls? Like without from so just import worksuit. Does that work for you? Because it works for me like the import. It might be like a version difference or like
That
your
works.
pip might. Yeah. Okay. So this one exists, and then you can now type in your terminal. You should probably be able to type dir. So remove all the import stuff. So you get an empty new line. dir, and then like open bracket. Like the normal, not curly braces, but
Oh.
normal braces. Like a function call. Like dir is a function.
Oh, okay.
And then type worksuit URLs in. That's like the argument. And then close it and then press enter. Now you can see like Python works with objects. Dir basically lists all the attributes, all the values that you can access in an object. So it's a function that just will print out all the values for you. Well, not really print, it will convert it to a list, all the values in the object.
So this is
So-
what makes up that library.
Yeah, that's what's in this import.
Ah, okay.
And it looks like your version doesn't have any fixed URL. But it might be that they're on an outdated version. Because I'm just gonna type the same thing. I keep typing worksuit wrong, and then there worksuit.url. Yeah, so for me, I have more functions in there. So we have a different version. I could send you a screenshot. I will actually send you a screenshot.
Oh yeah, there's no URL fix.
So I don't know in which channel you want me to post this.
You can just send in the chat here, that's fine.
Okay. So I have this screenshot right now. So I did the same thing as you did. Only you see I have a way more function available. You see?
Yeah. Oh, there's the
So-
URL fix.
This most likely is because we're on different versions. Probably you have like a version running that doesn't have all these things. It might be like something wrong with your pip version that you used to install it. It might be that they deprecated or moved some of these things. Normally I would like, because I'm just using this as like an example, and you could look it up on the internet as well, but I think it's important to also know how to like do these things in Python.
Yeah.
So Instead of the dir function, you could also use the help function on worksuit URLs. So just type help and then the brackets and then like worksuit URLs.
Wow. I don't even. What?
And then you get like the help page and how it's all built. So you can do almost everything from Python without ever needing to look up things online.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize that the libraries included all this documentation.
Yeah, that's how they generate that online documentation is based off the libraries. So normally I would like ask you to like do it also for the fix URL stuff, but you don't have the wait, what is it called again?
The URL fix.
URL fix, I'm typing it wrong. I type URL fix, so you can also do like the help on the URL fix, and then you get like the same documentation as you had just looked up on the internet.
Yeah.
So
So wait, so you would have
And
done help. Would you literally just type help _ URLs fix
yeah, yeah,
and not found? Okay.
yeah. One of the things is you don't have it imported, so it doesn't find it. So that's why you need to import it first. But your version of worksuit is different.
Would I have to? So how do I get to that specific function? It's help.
So you would need to import it first. So that's why you typed when the first time you opened it from worksuit import. So that loads it into your process, the right library. Because this is just a library, and right now you're on like a clean instance without any libraries loaded. And you first load the library, and then you like ask like, hey, what do you know about this library, basically? Like, what can I access?
Why is okay? So that works. Whoa. Okay, so help worksug.
So one of the things that I see directly, you can also go for the documentation online now, because this was more of like an example how I would see it.
URL fix. Oh, URL fix was removed.
Yeah, but the version you're testing against still has it.
Yeah.
String with the URL. Sometimes you get a URL by user that isn't a real URL because it contains unsafe characters, like single quote and so on. What is... Oh, it encoded? Why did it encode these? It encodes a space. Not a lot to really go off of. The encoded keys parameter was moved.
So one of the things that you might find really interesting about like URL fix is like I would normally just load this in memory and play around. Like the function, maybe look at the implementation. Like I now have the answer on how to do it, but I kind of want to show you how I would do it. So I'm just gonna share my screen. after I removed it first. So I'm on Windows right now, which kind of sucks. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me find. I think this is. Is this my Python instance? So I think you should be able to see my Python instance now, right?
Yes. Oh no.
So
Okay, wait, we're back. Yeah.
the URLs. So we import the library. It takes a second. It imported it. Then like the function we want to talk, get information on is. I'm kind of lucky that I still have the old version. Is fix URL, I think, or was it fix URLs? I don't remember. So this one.
URLs
Or URL fix.
or URL fix. Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah, the other way around. So there we have it, the output. So it says, yeah, we will like it will change like basically URL, encode any weird characters and change it so it works in a URL. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I normally would do is I would make a variable with maybe some data that I want to URL fix, and then I just do URL or fix URL. But what was it again? I have it on my screen. URL underscore fix. But I need so like this. So call it with the data on X, right? And then you get like the output. And what I normally would do is just play around with it. So test, so X is this, and see what comes out of it, right? Because for now you don't really have access to the source code. So I'm just gonna give this example real quick. So did you notice something in this last example that I did?
The slashes.
Yeah, so 2 backslashes, you need to backslash twice because mine a Python string, right? Like 1 backslash will try to make it like a Python. So like this would turn into this. I mean, X2F will turn into that, right? Because Python will interpret the backslash as like a special character thing. So the characters after the backslash will form a special character. 2 backslashes basically mean, oh, this is an actual backslash.
Wait, so
Or forward slash in this case.
yeah.
And why WorkZook does this is a lot of Windows web applications and servers. If you ever open like a Windows like URL, like you see the select here, you see that this is Windows because these slashes, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the path are the other way around. On Linux, it's like a forward slash. On Windows, it's a backslash. You see that? Or the other way around? I never know the names of these things.
No, yeah.
Like this is a solidus and this is a reverse solidus. Yeah.
And because it's URLs fixed, it's flipping it.
Yeah, URL fix will like, oh, well, in a Windows machine, you might see like a backslash. But like
Yeah.
URL fix is fixing it to a normal slash, a forward slash.
So what is backslash x0? What is it
X00?
interpreting it as? Well, what is it?
This?
If you just do 1, what is that interpreting it as?
You mean what this backslash and then X does? It will take the next 2 characters, get the hex representation, and change that to a character. So 00 would be this is a null byte. And I don't know how much you know about memory and strings in memory and that kind of stuff.
A little bit here and there.
Yeah, so in your burp suite as well, if you I don't know if you still have your burp open. I need to open your stream again.
Yes.
Find it real quick. To join you and watching. So can you open your burp repeater? So and then maybe go to like a request in your repeater. That's a good example. and make it full screen. You see the hex tab on like pretty, roll, hex, and then hex factor.
Yes.
Press the hex. You see all these numbers?
Yeah.
This is what you're actually sending like in binary. So the P is like hex 50. So it's like the first character. Like the capital P is the hex 50, so the first character in the hex list. So that's the binary representation, or actually it's like a hex representation of the binary. It's a bit convoluted, but you sort of get what I mean. This is what it actually looks like in memory. So what the \x did is basically I said to the computer, right now I want to write it like I would write it in memory, like you see it here. And URL encoding does the same. URL encoding is just, I'm gonna send this character, or write it down as I write it in memory. So like the character for a slash in memory is like 2F in hexadecimal. So it's all connected.
So you're doing that step yourself in order to bypass.
Oh no, that step, like, so why this doesn't bypass it is because Python will, like, when you send data to Python, if you send this, what Python will read it as, if you send the / in Python, Python will read it as this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because Python makes it like a real character. This is just a special meaning when you're like in a Python environment or a terminal, where you say like to the Python terminal, like what I'm writing is hex. But if you read it from somewhere else, they will read it like this.
Oh, okay.
So I can understand that it's very confusing at first because you see all these characters changing all the way. But it's like it's all has to deal with like how it looks in memory and like how these programs allow for you, because Python also wants, like, let's say you need to write things that you don't have character names for, or like alphabetical characters basically for in Python. So you need to like do some computer stuff with a null byte, for example. Like there's no character on my keyboard for a null byte. Yeah. So if I want to have a string that contains a null byte, let's say y, then I would need to do it like this. And then you see, like, it still represents it like this. But if I would actually send it like to a text document or something, it's just invisible because there's no character for this.
Yeah.
So this is basically Python's attempt to like display data that really can't be displayed easily. So it's really confusing because you're dealing with all kinds of environments and stuff. And that's not at all what's happening. The one thing that is happening is that if we have this x with this, so basically this is in practice, it's / and then a bunch of stuff. If we send this through like this, like what's the function? Your URL fix function, you see this / this real character is changed to one character in the Python display, because this is one character, according to Python. So a good way to show that is maybe the length. I don't write a lot of Python, as you can maybe see.
Oh, good.
So length x is 11, right? And then, well, maybe let's change x to like. So right, these are like, how many characters you see here?
5.
5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if we now do len x, it says 4. Why? Because the \/ is one character.
Okay, so the single slash, if you remove one of those slashes, it'll turn to hex.
Yeah, so if I remove one of these slashes, it will say like everything after this / is like a special sequence, and we will parse it differently. So this will probably not be hex. This is octal encoding, which is different. we use the X to say this is gonna be hex. The next two characters is gonna be hex.
Okay.
Like there are a bunch of different encodings, and we can change like the way it's encoded with the characters after this. You can also do Unicode, and then it's like the 4 characters after it. So now we do lang.
Okay.
Right. So I just took the X as an example, which, to be fair, I could have taken a better example like the Unicode one because that's clearer.
No, that makes sense. Now I get the double backslash because
So the double backslash
single
just
is-
means that it's like one character.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
So it's just a whole bunch of explanation that actually doesn't matter too much, but it just makes my explanation makes more sense about like the actual thing. So to do this, we just need to send a backslash somewhere, like this.
Why is it flipping it?
That has to do with how Windows works. So Windows, like you see the file path up here, the C on the top of my screen, like oh, you don't. It doesn't share it.
No, I know what you're talking about though. How it's backwards from Unix.
Yeah. Wait. I think os.path.
Yeah. Oh, it's got the double quote. What is Windows written in Python? Why is it?
So there you see like an error, but at least it shows the path.
Oh, because Python's printing it, it still prints as
Python's
double.
printing it, so it's double, but it's actually one character.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So
okay.
the program files, blah blah blah. But in Linux, this is wrong, and on web servers we always use the I think it's called a /. I'm so bad with these names because it's confusing. Like these things have like 8 names, I think, at this point. This character. But it basically flips it because if you write a Python server on Windows, yeah, then like it becomes weird with file uploads and it sends the Windows path and not the Linux path. So it tries to normalize it to one universal thing. So that's the reason why it behaves that way. So the thing is, knowing this, you can bypass the check on the /, you know? So
Yeah,
you're not allowed to send this.
Double back.
So let's say you're not allowed to send this, but you are allowed to send this.
Yeah, and that'll get interpreted as the prior.
And that will get changed to this again by the, so if we put this into this one, you see it becomes the other one.
Oh.
Interesting.
So with this knowledge, you can like do a little bit more. I think you're also doing like quite difficult challenges for somebody that's beginning, just as a side note.
Yes. Yeah.
You didn't start on easy mode.
I did
let's
not.
put it- So with this, I can close my screen share now, I think. You now should be able to go to the next step in the exploitation.
Awesome. Okay.
So now you know you can bypass it.
Interesting.
And maybe you should try it once with just a normal .. and see what happens.
Yeah. If we go this way.
Oh wait, I accidentally closed your stream.
Internal server error.
So one of the things that you now have to wonder yourself before you like do anything is, does the URL encoding, wait, do you need 2 backslashes here? That's the first thing I would ask. Why would you need 2 backslashes here or 1?
2 because it's going into a Python script.
No, but Python already makes it 2. So if you do this, it will become 4. Like according to the way, because it was only in the Python environment where we're in, it does this. but this is already parsed as a string literal.
Oh, there's so much back and forth here.
Yeah. There's a lot of like little complications like this. But one of the
Yeah.
things you can ask yourself is, well, that's an improvement, I think. Right? That's a different error.
Yeah. And it's just
Maybe-
hanging
Yeah,
out.
maybe write some test after it. Yeah. So why would this become an error? If you think about it.
I'm the
Can you
output.
see maybe in Burp what's happening? Because right now you're looking at the browser and you're not really seeing what's happening. So your burp is like sort of a sort of an
Oh.
arbiter of truth for these kinds of things.
Ah. Intercept. Submit.
HTTP history is what you wanted.
So it's getting encoded.
Yeah, but that's fine because it will decode it anyways,
Yes.
right? And then forward.
So,
You kind of want to look at the response of this.
yeah.
Okay. Right now you can go to HTTP history and see the response.
Oh yeah. Right.
All the way at the top, yeah. I think it's the last one.
Yeah.
This one. So you see, hey, it gives me a 500 error.
That's
So there are
internal.
a couple of reasons that this could happen, right? Some error is occurring and it breaks the flow of the script. So we know we did something that made something break. Now let's think about how we broke it. And like I like after this box, I'm also gonna leave, by the way, because I have all the stuff to do today. So if you go to the script again, just open the Python script in your screen, maybe.
It's getting sent to this
Oh.
one, which is not a
No,
valid.
but no, something is crashing in between. That's why you get a 500 error. So
Oh.
something in here is crashing because we send it the way we did, right? So let's think about what is crashing. So we know it goes through like the name stuff well, and then it will try to open a file with that name and write to it. Well, one of the things on machines that's kind of important to know, if you want to open a file or like a file in a directory, you need to have like the right permissions to be able to do that.
Yes. And
Otherwise it
those
will error out.
are-
So it might be that you don't have any access rights to the directory above this.
Yes.
That it's just an assumption, but that could be a valid reason why you're not allowed to write there.
Yeah, because there's write permissions and execute in app static, but not the root directory.
Yeah,
Because I'm running as nobody.
yeah. But do you have write permissions in another place? Can you write to template/errors?
Yes. It's a 3.
Let's try that. So what would the path be for template/errors?
If we're in static, what are we in? Static.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this? Oh, it's root directory.
Yeah, so you can just work from the
Templates.
repeater. You can just work from the repeater, right? So yeah. So, but you're writing from static. You're trying to exit this from static,
Yes.
and so you need to have like one file command that goes from like static to errors. So // goes to app. now to go to static. Or errors. So, no, I like, what does 2 ... bring you to? Is the errors directory in the apps directory, or is it above the apps directory?
It is. The apps directory is the root directory, so it's just ... because we're
So
getting out
you're
of...
already like with 1 ... are in the root directory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you're coming from static, and you do ...
Oh, yeah, you're right, because app is the root directory. Okay. So it'll just be that, and then templates, and %5c errors. I believe that's,
Okay.
and then I should have write permissions, or no, maybe
To this
not
part?
right. Maybe, let me try that.
Yeah,
What
you
does
can
that
just
look
try it.
like? Template errors, okay.
Maybe add the final slash on the end. So everything gets inside of the error. You now are not inside the errors, right? So final percentage 5c, yeah.
Oh,
So send. Hey, you see you don't have the error anymore, and it
yeah.
says you've written a
Templates.
file. So
Oh, look at that. We could write to it.
yeah, you can write to it. So now you have a write permission to a place where you shouldn't. So, but now there's like a couple of important things to note before we continue. Is the file name is random,
Yes.
but we can see the file name in the redirect, at least the part that is random. But we still need to construct the file name ourselves after it, right? Because the redirect isn't correct anymore. Well, it kind of is because it has the same ... stuff.
Or what do you...
So-
the ref is
So
the
this is
stack
the
template
location.
errors.
Yeah, so this redirect will try to access the template/errors folder and then the right HTML page. But are we allowed to query this HTML page?
No. We get permission denied if we go to templates errors.
Okay, but why? How do we access or do anything with errors? I think you have access to the source code, so we can see it in your.
We can.
It's best to open the Python source code again.
Ooh. Error. Include errors plus error plus HTML.
So can you open the source code again in like your, I think it's in your libvirt stuff. I think that's the best place to continue. That's the most logical place for me to explain things. Because right now you're digging in your own files. So you see two routes because it's a Flask app. You see the normal slash and you see the /new. In the normal slash, you see it will return an error and it will try to render the index.html template with a variable it takes called error, and it will try to get that error. Right?
Yeah.
So the long content error you see is, you know, if you write too much, it will load the error from the long content. But right now you created your own HTML page in the error page. So right now, if you open burp and you intentionally create like one of the errors with maybe a slash in the URL, then you can see it. Because like if you look at the app-route new and you see what happens if you're like put a slash in the URL, just put the slash in it. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, and it gets redirected to the
It's
parameter.
redirected to an error page with a bad content parameter, right? And let's go to that follow the redirection. So it's follow the redirection you see on the left.
Error, bad content. The note contained invalid characters. Make a new note.
Yeah, so this is the content you uploaded. Well, you see the parameter getting sent, the bad content error in there, like the get parameter.
Yeah.
Well, we know that the random string that came after it is the name of the file we uploaded, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So if we change that bad content to the file name we ourselves uploaded, so that random string we got, we should see our own upload. I don't know if you still have access to that, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would put like create a second repeater. Or you could do this. This is also fine. And then paste it in there. And there's one big difference between this and the errors that you saw, is this already has the HTML attached to it. The .html, try to remove it. Or is this the right one? I don't know if the other errors have the .html after it, or if it adds that themselves.
They do not. Oh, wait, yeah, so without the .h, why did that work?
That might have been just an error. So now you have an error here. Like now you can upload something and load it in the web page, right?
Yeah.
So we have like you've reached a major step. You have done like one major thing. Now the question sort of becomes, how can we actually abuse this?
So the
Right,
error
how
is the
to-
file name, and then
Yeah. And we can load the file name. So one of the questions that I would have is, does it do some like templating engine stuff? Can we maybe, is this like a template it loads? How does it evaluate templates? Can we maybe include some code in a template that we can execute? These are like the thoughts that I have when I'm like having this type of access.
yeah.
So then I would look at the code again and see like, oh, what kind of template is it? So I kind of hope you notice that I'm really going like one step at a time. really
Yeah,
slow.
yeah, no, this is
So you
this
see your render
a lot
template
easier.
function. Yeah. So the render template, that's a Flask function. No, I would look that up again. Like, I would just use internet this time. If you ever actually install Flask, you can also do it like the render template, and it's a Flask function, right? Because render template sounds quite generic. There's a lot of
Yeah.
rendering templates on the internet. So the first one is Flask. I guess that's a search engine for you. And just Control F templates, I would say, because right now you're like looking at a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like kind of a skill to skim through like all this documentation for like what you need. So they just talk about like how to create a Flask app. You don't really care about that. You only care about template rendering.
Yeah.
With Flask, we can use.
Yeah. Okay. This just say it templates. It renders templates, but is there any example or like? Can you have like maybe scroll down a bunch more? Maybe they will set up like a template later. I don't see any templates yet. This is all just setting up the environment.
Mm.
So I'm quicker in this because I have like the experience. But oh, this is a template. So is there anything that you notice from this template directly?
These.
So yeah, So it seems like curly brackets do something, right? Block body, block end. That seems like a sort of template command, but because that's not being shown in the HTML. Maybe they're like other template commands, right? Because block
I've
body doesn't.
seen- Yeah. It's like the 7x7.
Yeah, that's an often used thing. You could maybe try to upload a 7x7, see if 49 comes out of it, if it does some basic calculation. Like I personally would like look at like this is a template injection. So this is
Yeah.
a different vulnerability than like first you had like an arbitrary file upload vulnerability, now you have a template injection. So you're training multiple vulnerabilities to exploit this bug.
Oh.
So because the arbitrary file upload we already got there with the blacklist bypass, with the slash and the transformation of the forward to the backward slash stuff, or the other way around. I hate those names.
So then would I just do 7x7? Like that.
Yeah, normally times is with a star, so shift F.
Ah. Thank you. So it should create a file with
So this-
the name
thi- thi-
49.
Well, let's just send it if it creates a file, right? You know how to request a file after it's created,
Yes, I can.
so you can. So the
Copy
file
that.
name doesn't contain a 49. Copy and then just go to the other one. And this is why I said get two different repeater tabs. One with the upload, one with the downloading of the or the showing of the templates.
Oh, it's not found. I wonder if it's.
No, because right now you're trying to get /template/errors. This is not like the error page in which you saw the
Oh,
template.
you're
Remember?
right. You're right. You're right.
So this is why you really want to like be organized in what you do. Because you're now going back and forward. Yeah, this is the error page. What I would just do is send this once. Okay. Why would this work? There's like an interesting little thing that happens here. Okay, this works. I would send like before you continue, before we like say anything about like why this doesn't work, this template injection attempt, maybe right click, send to repeater.
Oh, nice.
So, and just double click the 4 on the top. Double click, and now type error page. Yeah, and then go back to 3. So you got error page, nice, and then click the 3 next to it. Go back to the file upload page. So yeah, you can.
There we go.
Like my screen is a little bit delayed, so okay, this is the file upload, and then rename this file upload. So this is just like a little bit of organization. Now you don't need to go use the backward forward. Now you just have 2 tabs, one for the upload, one for checking.
Yeah, that's nice.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So why the curly brace doesn't work is like the next thing, right? That's because your Flask template syntax is wrong.
Oh.
So Flask, if you actually look up like Flask templates,
That's the percent.
no, it's not necessarily the percent.
Oh, double.
It's double, yeah. The percentage is like something else. It's like logic, and the double is like I want to render a parameter.
Okay. Like logic.
So, and like the exact logic. So, according to the docs, I have the docs in front of me, the official Flask docs. Anything between double curly braces is an expression that will be output to the final document. And everything between the percentage curly brace stuff denotes a control float statement. So, like if for
Okay.
so they make like a difference based on like what you can use it for.
Okay. Let me send this.
These are called the Jinja templates, by the way. Sorry.
Okay. And it doesn't include the HTML though.
I don't know what you're doing right now. I have one screen only open. Let me go back to you. So this is again you're following redirects instead of going to the error page. You just want to keep this only at like the upload page. So the whole reason we made 2 separate tabs was you can go back and forth and paste in one place.
You're right, yeah. I'm curious why that did not. Do I need a space?
So I see color 7 times 7. So then I would need to take a little look at the code and the template and just check. Right? Is this the right way to do it? Because I believe double curly brace is the right way to do it, but it might be that you do it in the wrong place or looking in the wrong place. Or it might be that this part of the template it's not in, and in some other part it is. So take a look at the code. I would say, like, take the code as like the leading truth for now. So this is the you're
So
creating a template. So it will do a render template on the stuff, right?
Return render template when an error gets created.
Yeah, so that's just the error value that you sent with it. Render template, and then the template is the error. But it renders the index.html template. You see that?
Yes. So do I need to create an error?
No, maybe just look at the index.html template to see what's actually happening. Because you're already creating an error by uploading to the error directory, and so this is the template it's using, right?
Yeah. So if error is not none, error is. Oh, here's the error.
So where are you injecting?
Into here.
So where does the error come into play? Yeah, you're injecting in there. So it's not like you're creating a new template, you're injecting into an existing one.
Yeah. So that's why the 7 times 7 wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So, in theory then, could I just do 7 times 7?
In theory, if that's all the context there's in there, you might. But then the problem is becoming quite like, is this the string? Like, what am I actually injecting into?
Yeah.
Like, it's a little painful process, you know, because it transforms it to a string, you see?
Yeah.
So it transforms even the random data to a string.
So include errors / plus error. So error error should be.
It's that's the same parameter as your ending. Like the file is just the error data.
Yeah. So let's get rid of the 7 times 7. So I can go into here.
So it will do an include on the error.html.
Errors /error. So why is templates error 7 times 7?
So there might be a different vulnerability here. So you see a percentage include errors plus error plus. So the error is just you have to think of it as the string in one of those error pages.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? Like what does an include do in Jinja? Because this is a Jinja command, remember? Like a Jinja include.
Depending on what the error name is the file that it will grab. If it's either bad content or long content, which is this error parameter right here.
So I recommend really reading right now the Jinja templating, like how it works, right? Because that's now blocking your progress. It's just a lack of understanding on the Jinja templating, right? You know you can play around with the Jinja templating. You just don't really know how it works.
Yeah.
Right? I can go tell you and figure it out for you. I don't really want to do that. Also, I'm pretty tired, so like. not
Yeah,
everything
no.
is
Yeah.
sharp right now. So,
How do you know it's Jinja template?
Because if you go to the code, it uses Flask rendering templates, and Flask by default is Jinja, and that's just something you can look up. It's Jinja 2.
Flask from Flask render templates because they're from Flask. So I should have looked up. That's interesting.
So right now you're like on the tutorial page. Try to find the official Flask documentation, right?
Yeah.
So the page you're on right now doesn't help too much. Correct. Flask templates. So
DigitalOcean.
what does the first link say? Flask documentation 2.3.x. DigitalOcean is also not the official documentation. What does that link say? This looks like
Quick
official Flask documentation.
2.3. We have a version Docker. Or it's 3.9 for Python. I guess we don't have a Flask version.
It's probably just the latest Flask version or whatever that it can access. But yeah, you now have access to the Flask documentation, and if you do Control F on Jinja, like I'm always a little too lazy to read the full documentation. So HTML template with Jinja, you see. So
introduce later.
Jinja 2, yeah, Jinja 2. That's the point. So not this one. If you go to the next.
Oh, so I need to find include.
Yeah, well, you can do that after you like figured out the template language. So there are multiple results for Jinja on this page. Just Control F to the Jinja 2 part. Because right now you're scrolling over stuff you don't need.
Jinja 2.
Yeah, here. So rendering templates. This is like what we're attacking, right? So this is interesting. So normally I would say find like how it renders, and in the renders you see because Flask configures the Jinja 2 template engine for you automatically.
Mm-hmm.
To render a template, you can use the render template method.
Yeah, which
All you
is
have to
what
do
it's
provide
doing,
the
right?
name of the template and the variables you want to pass to the template engine as keyword arguments. Render
So
template.
the variables that are passed are the ones you send with it.
The page name.
But it's not loading the file we uploaded as a template. It's loading the index.html as a template. You see that? So
Yeah,
that's
then
an
errors is
important
just
distinction.
the param or the
It's
variable.
just a param. So we
okay.
need to look at the index.html template and see if there's anything in there we can abuse.
Which is the include.
Which would probably be the include. Yeah, so include seems like pretty funnable. The error is just gonna print out the error name.
Is there include documentation in here? No.
Then you probably, you know it's using Jinja templates. Then you need to look on the internet for Jinja documentation. Jinja 2. 3. Template. Include. That does say something, but this is not official documentation. This is Stack Overflow page.
Yeah.
You're familiar with Stack Overflow, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with this, you can download certain, or I mean, this just gives answers to questions. I'm really tired. Sorry.
No,
I
you're
would
good.
just look for the documentation. Not for like
Oh,
Stack
include. Oh, okay, so I see. So error needs to be percent include. Where is
An error needs to be something that makes you include like a template that you want.
Yeah, so the error name needs to be the flag file.
Or you upload a custom template with the upload vulnerability you had, and you make the error point to that template, and then it includes that template as a Jinja template.
Wait, that what? Like template.
Because what
within
does
template?
include do? If you what does include do?
It adds the file.
As what?
If task name is content one, include the web page. Or wait, no.
Yeah, but what-
There's content one is a template.
yeah, that's a different Jinja template. So it basically builds like one big response from multiple templates.
Oh, so the error is a template, so I should upload.
You should create your own template and then send the error variable. Remember, this error is just the get parameter you sent.
Yeah. So, because the error is either going to be bad content or long content. So when
Yeah,
one of
for
those
example, you
hit-
can, yeah. And then it will load that as a template, I think. Well, you can maybe look at the.
Oh,
I'm
I
making the
see.
assumption that it loads it as a template. Wait, you might want to look these things over. I'm really tired. You might want to double check if it actually loads as a template with include. Jinja include. Let me actually look it up. Jinja.
So it's including errors, and then from the code, it's using the index page with the error parameter name bad content. So if I go to
Oh, I
burp,
don't know. Oh, this is Jinja 3. Is there Jinja 2?
bad underscore. So I have to make my own. Yeah, cool. Okay. Upload my own error template. Templates. Error. Errors.
So I can not really find like the old Jinja documentation. I do find like the Jinja. Oh, maybe here.
Oh,
So-
I see. So how do I? Okay, so I need to. Somehow in this content include write a template that uses because I also don't know what the flag file name is, so I need to like LSLA for it
Or get some code execution
glob.
to do it.
Yeah.
So, but like first things first, you want to get the template and get some malicious code executed, right? Because a template is basically a way to execute malicious code.
So how can I make a basic Jinja 2 template?
So one of the things that I just would recommend to do at this point, right, is take a little step back from the website itself and just recreate like the environment on your own machine, because it gives you way more freedom to play around. Because you can just call the render template from Python, you can create your own Python template, and you can iterate way quicker that way than trying everything on the target itself.
Yeah. I
So
also
you
need to
see
figure out
Jinja
how to
free
write one.
documentation. So the first one is the official documentation, but it seems to be version 3. I don't know if Jinja 2 is like the name and without a version number. Like, I think 2 is like a version number, but not entirely sure.
So it's gonna call to. What do these look like again? Oh, they just say that. Are they allowed to contain? Oh. Or what if? Could I rewrite the? No, I can't rewrite the content because it has that one bit in front of it for the permissions with 17.
I don't quite know what you're trying to do right now. But like, you remember the 7x7 that you uploaded, right?
Yeah.
You do have a like a page somewhere in there with a 7x7. It's just not loaded in the error page. Can you maybe get it to load in the error page? I think you did, but I think you quite quickly were like, oh, it doesn't work. So the error page with the... So this is the file upload. This is what you needed anyways to the error page, and then you need the curly brace 7x7, right? And remember, you don't want to do the X, you want to do the
Star. Yes. Alright, so send redirects to here.
So
And that's in the error directory. Why is it not?
So one of the interesting things is you remember, because this is the index.html template that's rendered, right?
Yeah.
So where would the include appear if the include worked?
This would get injected.
So if you just take just compare this to the index
Right
to
here.
the index HTML template.
Oh, error's a string, so it's. Do I need to quote around it?
No, you see error. You see the first error, and then the line above it, right? That's
Yeah.
what you see. You see this. You see the rendering, but the include seems to have failed.
Oh, Is it because it already has these?
It might be because of maybe curly braces. It might be because of URL encoding. It might be because of a lot of things.
There's also a
So-
space here.
So the error beneath it, right? That it like the include is failing. Because otherwise you would see the include. The include of the file name right there, that's failing for some reason. So if you go to your repeater, so why would it maybe be failing? On the error page, you want to click on like the error page thing. So what is it trying to include? Is it trying to include the file name? Or is it, remember you're having like URL encoding and like what's the actual file called? Because of automatic URL encoding. So you see %7b, %7b.
Yeah.
Is the file name literally %7b? You might want
No.
to double URL encode the URL encoding in here. Because maybe change the error just to test, right? Just change the entire parameter to just test. No. You see, you get the same, you don't see the page back.
Yeah.
Because you're not requesting the page you uploaded in the error page. Because remember, the server always URLs decodes it once when it arrives. And the file name contains percentage signs. Like you see the file name in the output, errors %7b, %7b.
Yeah.
Now on the right, in the redirect. So just get the %7b stuff in front of you. Yeah, that. And then all the way up to the dot from the .html. You want to copy everything to the .html, right? Including the random part.
Wait. What?
You want to everything after the slash from the errors to the .html. You want to get the file name.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Go to the error page. Paste that in the parameter. This is not gonna work, but we're gonna walk over it. Remember, first of all, the template itself added the .html, so you need to remove that from here.
You're right.
So
And now this is it.
now
should-
this doesn't work because it tries not to read this file. It tries to read all these files with the URL encoded version. So you need to put %25 or 25 after every percentage sign. So it's %257b, %257b. No, you don't need the 2%. Yeah, so 25, yep. And go to the next percentage sign. This is a stuff, yeah, 25, yep, 25. Well, send this.
No way.
You see the 49. You know, you
Wow.
understand what happens here? This is like a URL decoding thing.
So
So
it's
because the file name contains the percentage sign, and because the server URL decodes it before it requests the file, it says, oh, I don't know the file curly bracket 7 times 7, because you created the file %7b times, or you know, with the. So it's a bit of a clusterfuck.
Yeah. So
But this is why it's so important to really keep track of all the URL encoding stuff.
But I never URL encoded it twice. Where did this second one happen?
When you did the file upload to bypass things, it got URL encoded once. So if you go to the file upload, you see the output that got URL encoded. That's because you remember that string or that function that we used, like the fix HTML function, that does the URL encoding. So it writes to a URL encoded version, right? So you send it bare, then the fix HTML URL encodes it, then it creates that file. Yeah, that URL encodes it, then it creates that file after it got URL encoded.
So our hypothesis from earlier that this URL encodes actually is true?
Yeah, it does encode but not decode.
Ah, okay.
But the server decodes on the other request.
Yeah.
So that decoding makes it so it tries to not request the URL encoded name, but the decoded.
Wow, static templates errors.
So
And then-
you're lucky you can see in the response which file is created. So you see in the response that that file is actually created, including all the percentage signs.
And it's URL encoded. And then it
Yeah.
gets URL encoded again. Where?
No, and then when we go to the error page, when you request the error page, you send it URL encoded once, but because the server URL decodes it, it's not the same as the file name anymore. So you need
Oh,
to
you're
URL encode
right.
it 2 times.
Oh,
get,
because
like,
we're in the middle because we're not sending it client side. So if we were sending this, okay, wait, hold on. So if we were just sending this from a browser, we wouldn't need to URL encode, right?
That really depends on if the browser says, "Oh, this is already URL encoded," because I see percentage signs.
Oh yeah, you're right. It doesn't.
So the browser says, "Oh, I don't need to URL encode it because it's already percentage sign," and this sort of lies to you, right? So you could probably, so the browser does like finicky stuff with URL encoding and decoding.
Yeah, that
To,
could
like,
be
make it-
confusing.
Yeah. So that's
Like-
why you always take burp as like the source of truth.
Okay.
But now you have a template injection. It's because now you see the 49. And now you can play with the template and maybe get some code execution in it. It's just really annoying that you need to like get the file name correct. So what you could do, because the file name is only the first 120 characters, is just press A for like 120 characters. And then after that do the payload, so you don't have to do this stupid URL encoding stuff every time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, I actually gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
Dude, thank you so much. It was awesome meeting you. I'll be
fine.
working on this again tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, you're
appreciate
like
the
one
help,
step
though.
away. You're one step away from exploiting it and getting there. So like one of the things, I'm really tired, so I'm having a hard time doing this. One of the really important things to always keep in mind when doing web exploitation or exploitation in general is burp is the source of truth, one step at a time, and really pay attention to what's happening. Those are like the things to,
Yeah.
because those details can really fuck you up, like URL encoding, URL decoding, Unicode, like string escaping. Like it gets confusing if you don't do it like one thing at a time.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, now because it's so much like that's
Yeah,
also
it's
the one thing I
imposs-
never considered was burp is actually man in the middle, so usually just doing it for browser it handles that. That's not something I have to consider as the URL encoding.
Yeah, and you now also know like why your own coding exists. You know, like that's like really important in my eyes. Like as a pen tester, why does this even exist in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Well, I appreciate it. I hope to hear from you tomorrow or whenever next time you're available. But
It's probably not tomorrow, but yeah.
yeah, that's fine. I'll yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for showing me that.
No worries. Have a great evening or day. You're in the US, right? So
Yes, sir.
okay. Yeah, have a great day. I'm
Yeah, you
from
too.
Europe, so it's like 10 o'clock here. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Awesome. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later then.
Later.
All right. Peace.